Hey everybody, this is Mr. Argueta back at you, week number 3 on our Intro to Business class. So here's what we're doing in this video. We are going to do what has happened, what is happening, and what is going to happen. In other words, we're going to look at what we went through the last week, what is going to happen this week, and what to expect next week. Now, I feel the structure is important for you to understand because next week is midterm. And I'll start there. What's going to happen is at the end of this week, this will close out the discussion and the 2 chapters. And then next week on Monday morning at 12 a.m., your midterm will open up and a discussion will open up. That's all you will need to do that week. It's just a midterm and a discussion. Yes, we are halfway basically through the semester. You are basically moving as fast as you possibly can. I know it's a lot being thrown at you. I respect and I admire you for your hard work, but I encourage you to don't slow down. You're halfway there. So after next week, after you take the midterm next week, you're pretty much downhill. It's going to go very fast, I promise you. So here's what happened last week. In our work, our assigned work for week number 2 was chapter 5 and 6, which you should have accomplished by doing, of course, the Learn Smart, the homework assignment, and the quiz. I had a couple people email me about the PowerPoint, and I think there might have been some confusion in regards to what the PowerPoint is. It's a supporting document. Like if there's a hypothetical question within the PowerPoint, that's not intended for you to necessarily answer. These 3 items are what you need to do for the chapter assignments. The PowerPoint is for those people who learn visually, and maybe it's a little easier for you to see a slide that describes something. That's the purpose of it. Don't get caught up on that. If you don't need the PowerPoint, don't use it. It's really just an extra tool for you to go and get an understanding of the summary of that chapter. Other than that, of course, in week number 2, we had our discussion, which is under our work assigned chapters. Which one do you lean towards? And we talked about this briefly, so I'm not going to go into details. I am in the process now of going back in there and reading everyone's answers and grading them. So it'll take me a couple of days to get that done. It's a lot of reading, and I do read every single one, so don't think that I'm ignoring them. I encourage you to continue to do good work in your discussions. That is where I know if you're understanding these concepts or not. So that I put a lot of importance to the discussions. So don't give me one sentence answers as a reply. You're not going to get full credit for that. I've been mentioning that from day one. So do not be surprised if you do not get full credit in your discussion because your discussion was not substantial enough. All right, so that brings us to what is happening now. So we've entered week number 3. Week number 3 is going to be chapter 9 and chapter 10. In both of these, the same thing as always. It's just your normal structure. But chapter 9 digs into a little more of the motivation theories of management. Now, if you are a management major, some of you are, you will be going into more detail once you take principles of management. But this is the overview of the management field, of what it means to be in management and the motivation concept of management and how to keep your employees excited about coming back to work. One of those concepts is by a man by Abraham Maslow. Abraham Maslow's concepts of hierarchy of needs is one of my favorite theories in management. I found myself connecting to it. I found myself very interested in it. So of course I made that our discussion topic. I want you to understand Maslow's hierarchy of needs, probably because I feel so connected in it. I feel it's so important for managers to understand. But I also want you to talk to me about it and tell me, do you think that this is a factor in why people want to go to work with certain companies? Now, it might be something else. You might think that another theory is more applicable to Fortune 500 best companies to work with. I'm perfectly okay with that, as long as you can tell me what it is and which theory it is. Now, there's several of the theories that are out there, the XY theory, and of course the equity theory is a big one, the expectancy theory is a big one. But investigate, guys, especially if you're going to go into management. This is so important and crucial for you to understand on how to manage people. This is going to help you understand why people do the things they do, why they go the extra mile for you, why they don't go to work, why they don't want to take things seriously. This is really going to help you. Chapter 10 really deals with the human resource aspect of management. Once again, I mentioned this in the previous video. Intro to business is exactly what it sounds like. It's the introduction to the world of business. We are not going to master you in one area of business. This is just saying, hey guys, when we say business, this big umbrella of business, this is what's inside of that: management, marketing, accounting, human resource, operations, logistics. All of that is under management. Forgive me, under business. So what we try to do, we try to figure out how to break it down into smaller pieces in this portion of the study. And then later on, what we do is we go into more detail. When you take human resource as a class, you go into the detail of human resource, not just the overview as we're doing today. So other than that, as I mentioned, what to expect, week number 4, which is halfway through our semester, you are going to be doing your midterm. And the midterm, I'll click on that so you can all see. They deal with chapter 1, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. Okay, that's what's covered on your midterm. And when I click on the policies, I just want to show you what to expect. There's 30 questions equaling 100 points. The policies on this is there is no time limit. You have no time limit. You can sit there for hours and do this test. So there's no reason why anyone should have any issues with this. The other problem you have, not problem, but the other thing that I want you to be aware of is there's only one attempt to this test. So please make sure you plan accordingly. Chapters 1, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. Okay, that's for next week. That's not this week. This week, week 3, chapters that are due are chapters 9 and 10 and your discussion. All right, guys, other than that, I want to let you guys know that I am serious when I tell you, if you're ever in the area, come by, have a cup of coffee with me. Some of you already taken me up on that offer. It's exciting to get to meet some of you, but I am serious on that. You know what's one of my goals is to, behind me, as you can tell, I got some empty space here. I've already pitched to my family that what I want is an espresso maker. There is a machine out there that's called the Nespresso. It's a espresso machine, but it's a little more on the pricier end. But the espresso machines, they're smaller, it has a little frother, and has a little coffee maker. I'm hoping to add that to my repertoire of options for you if you ever come and have a cup of coffee. I wouldn't call myself a coffee snob, but I do enjoy a good cup of coffee, guys. Other than that, it's been a wonderful time with you so far. The temperature outside here in Dalton, Georgia has been good these last couple days. I'm glad that the rain has finally moved on, and now it's time to enjoy some time. So guys, hope you're enjoying it. Let me know what I can do for you, and have a wonderful week.